This is a 1-inch wood die, cut threads on a 1-inch dowel. Now, make sure your dowel is 1 inch. Sometimes it's hard to tell a 1 1/8 inch dowel from a 1 inch unless you have them side by side. And all dies, machine dies, pipe dies, wood dies, are all tapered, so they only go one way. This die has an extremely sharp cutter on one side. It only cuts from one direction. Always put your dowel in this side where the wood block is. Now, you'd never get the die started from the other side. Always sand a slight taper onto the dowel. Just makes it easier to get started. Always rub a little hand soap on the dowel, on the end I'm going to cut, just like a metal die would. But don't use oil. They all need lubrication, but don't put any oil on it. Furniture polish probably work just fine. Never have tried it, but I know soap makes the die perform very well. Put your dowel into a vise. You can't handle this large dowel with just your hands. Put the die on the dowel. Hope you can see that die. I don't know whether I had it up there where you can see it or not. Use the side with the wood block to put on the dowel. This die is larger on one end and it's tapered. The other side of the die is too small to get it on the dowel. You have to push, even on this side, just push with quite a bit of force on the die in order to get it force it on the dowel. Once you get the thread started, progression is comparatively easy. Thread a little bit, then back off. Sometimes you get wood build up in there, just shavings, and it may ruin your thread. So back it up and get those shavings out of there, and then you can go back. Now run the die back down and thread some more. Let's see if we can thread this now after all that big talk now. Put it on the side with the block on it. It should go pretty easy. You do have to put some force onto it to get it started. And like I say, I back up just a little bit every once in a while to get those shavings out of there. If don't, sometimes it'll just rip your threads right off. It's not any big deal. I mean, you're just doing nothing, but this isn't a hard job. But you want to do a good job. Makes neater threads if you don't gall them anyway. Anyway, let's see if I'm doing any good here. Reckon I'm doing any good at all? Get over there. Golly, there's some nice threads there. Who would have thought it'd make threads like that? Now this is on a piece of hardwood now. These dies, I don't believe will work on a piece of softwood. They won't work on a piece of poplar. I don't think they'll work on pine. It's going to have to be a hardwood, like oak, cherry, hickory, pecan, some kind of hardwood. Now I'm backing off just see if I can get all those wood chips out of there. See if I still have good threads. Like I say, sometimes you'll rip your threads off if you don't get, but those are good threads. But anyway, I just shake it out, and you can go some more if you want to, however far you want to go. But after you get the thread started, they go real easy. But it does have to be on a piece of hardwood. It will not work on a piece of softwood. The wood just isn't strong enough to take those threads. Boy, that works good. And I'm going to get the, see these shavings right here? Here's what I'm talking about, those shavings to get in there. And they're liable to gall your threads if you don't back up and get them out of there. Anyway, it works real good. This is 1 inch. Makes 1 inch threads. Makes very nice 1 inch threads on that 1 inch dowel. But now, this is just threaded on this end, and you can't, I can put it on there now, but I couldn't put it on the dowel before I put threads on it, but put it in this block. The end that has the block, that's the way that goes on. And the cutter is right here. It's before you ever hit the first thread, so the cutter does the cutting of the thread. Anyway, it's a very fine tool. Every woodworker needs one of these dies and tap. I sell the taps also, but anyway, I'm just showing you the die right now. Works very nice. Use some soap or some furniture polish on your dowel. Make sure it's a 1 inch, not a 1 1/8. They're hard to tell apart. And do put it in a vise. I don't think you can handle it unless you put it in a vise. Anyway, the dowels are tapered and they just go in one side.